She ate, she mothered, she fought, and she conquered. The drag queen who made it in the Drag Race Philippines Season 3 Top 4 knocked the house down with her relatable tita persona. Now, behind the campy drag lies a rich and inspiring story. We'll speak to her untucked and out of drag this morning. Welcome to the show, not his, not theirs, but your Tita Baby. Hello.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Hello, Tita, our favorite Tita.
Oh, it's such a beautiful day, and thank you so much for gracing us here with your presence. First off,
pleasure.
Congratulations on that run. I can only imagine, unang-una, yung energy levels mo, I'm sure were really way up there the entire time because it's such an intense competition.
Yes,
tell us a bit about yung experience mo muna.
Okay, so how do I start? I don't know how to start. Like, it's just a crazy experience to be inside the studio that you just usually watch on your laptop or in your gadgets, diba? And then I find myself in it, and it just went so quickly.
Yeah.
Because we were just all like probably energized and all that. But it was fun. It was fun. It was scary. It was an experience of a lifetime, actually.
Yeah, and you look great doing it.
Thank
and
you.
Top
It's
4,
fantastic.
I'm like, okay, you're killing it.
I'm seeing myself on screen.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God.
You're not used to it, ba? Seeing yourself on screen?
Not this big.
It looks great. You look great.
Thank you.
Bonggang-bongga.
Thank
But
you.
I want to know where you got your name, Tita Baby. First and
Okay.
foremost, like, how do you guys choose what drag name you guys
I think
get?
it's very different for different queens. But for me, really, it's rooted in reality for me because I grew up having so many Tita Babies in my life.
Same.
Literally
You
same.
know, like I had like probably 18.
Okay,
If
not the same pala.
It exactly feels like I had 18 Tita Babies. And they were like different personalities, different characters, and different relationships with family, diba? But the interesting thing is, I thought I was the only one who had like several Tita Babies in their lives. Apparently, in my generation, we all had like several Tita Babies.
I think it's
and
a
they're not the
Filipino
same
thing.
people, ha?
Yeah.
So parang naging funny thing lang yan for me to realize na, oh wait, it's cultural.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cultural. Tita Babies and Tito Boys.
Yes, that's true.
actually.
So, yeah, and I just got it from there. And I thought it would be funny if I do a parody of several different kinds of titas.
Yeah, but it's funny because it feels relatable when you have like a Tita Baby because first off, yung mga Tita Baby, well, at least Tita Baby ko, none of them, their real names are not Baby.
Oh, yeah, same.
They just adopt it, and it felt like you did the same thing as well. But let's take a look at yung run mo in particular because we were talking a bit about the energy levels that you had to keep up. Kasi grabe, just watching it. Minsan napapagod ako because of the amount of energy that is pouring out of all of you day in and day out. And not only that, it's a younger field, like in terms of the competition as well. So how did you keep up with all of that?
I really prepared for like a year or so.
Yeah.
Just in case I get in. I had to prepare physically. I got a trainer to, just keep my body ready for the show.
Yeah.
And then, of course, I had to do my own research. And I have a team who helps me put everything together.
Oh, that's great.
For the show. So, but, when they set me off into the studio, it was just me and myself.
Yeah.
But I also had like support from my castmates, really.
Of course.
Behind the scenes, when the cameras are rolling, we'd compete.
Right.
But
Yeah.
behind the scenes, we're like really, there's a real sisterhood behind the scenes. So I think that also helped, push me and encourage me to just give everything I have, especially since my age is like twice theirs.
Yeah. Oh,
You know?
that's sweet. Do you still keep up with any of them?
Yeah, I do. And I feel like I'm their real tita.
You're the real Tita.
Yeah,
Like-
because when I come in, like let's say we have a show, right? I come in the backstage, in the dressing room with everybody there. They just become so quiet and so polite, and I'm like, oh my God. Yeah.
Cute.
Yeah.
Well, walk us through the very first time you walked into the workroom. How did you feel? Like, what emotions
Like-
overcame you that moment?
Just before I entered the door itself, this rush of excitement and nervousness. But when you enter, just that whole persona and the spirit of the character that I've built over the years just, consumed me. So it was exciting. I was trying to hold on the feeling of like looking up in the ceiling, looking at the lights and, and the setup and everything. But, I think it was just so quick. But so meaningful also at the same time.
When did it hit you na, I'm actually here? You mentioned you prepared a year for it. Physically, I'm sure mentally as well, tightening everything up. And yung emotions, you mentioned that as soon as you entered that workroom for that first time, in character ka na eh. But as soon as it all kind of like calmed down for you, what poured over you? Like, nandito talaga ako. Like, once the camera stops rolling.
Actually, during the taping of the whole season, I was just hyper aware of everything. The competition, the friendship, the tasks that we need to do and to accomplish. So it just started to trickle in and just settle down after the whole taping.
Yeah, when you finally just got a chance to like reflect.
Decompress,
And we were
yes.
watching ourselves on TV during like drag shows because there are producers who produce live drag shows and they do viewing parties for Drag Race.
Yeah.
So they'd invite us to perform and watch the episodes for the first time together with the fans.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
that's I think that's the only time that it really sunk in with me at least that, oh my God, I did that.
Right.
So you watched it with the fans.
Yes.
Some people have violent reactions when they watch themselves on TV.
Yeah.
How was your reaction seeing yourself on screen for the first time and then hearing the reaction of the fans?
First of all, I think when I'm in drag, I really am a different person.
Okay.
I don't speak this way when I'm in drag.
Yeah.
So I was watching myself. It's a different person.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
parang I don't feel like, oh my God, that's me. I don't feel that way, and that's not how I think about myself. But no, when I look at myself watching it and I'm in drag live, see it and then the fans roaring and screaming and just enjoying the performance that I did on the show and on stage, it gives you a certain chill.
Yeah.
Na parang, oh, at my age, I did that.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm very grateful for the fans and the fans of Drag Race and my fans to actually be opening their arms and embracing me and the persona that I created.
Everybody
as a
loves
drag
you
queen.
because you're our favorite Tita Baby.
Thank
Of
you.
all the Tita Babies out there.
You better.
Sorry to all my Tita Babies also.
I better be.
Tita Baby, pasensya na to.
Have there been like a compliment when you guys, like you mentioned, you guys watch it together with the fans and with your community? What's the best compliment you've received, or maybe have you changed anybody's lives for the better?
Oh yeah, you know what? I never imagined like a 12-year-old girl come up to me, cry because for some reason I resonated to her. You wouldn't be surprised if you had like teenage fans or yuppies who are fat. Do we still use the word yuppies
I
nowadays?
think we still do. I think
Well,
so.
our generation does, so it's okay.
Okay, so, but to find like children, to come up to you and say that they inspired you and they love you, that's something else. Something else.
I just want to ask about drag for you because if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, you started drag relatively late.
Yeah.
Relatively late.
In my
And
life,
when you started, I believe it had a profound effect on you personally. Can you walk us through
Oh
that?
yeah. I've lived several different lives already. I've been an entrepreneur, I've been a professional in different fields, and nothing really. And then there's this concept of work and life balance.
Right.
So you try to figure it out and navigate yourself to actually get that.
Yeah.
So there was a time in my life that I realized, parang, wait, nothing is working for me. So I just, stopped everything and tried to recalibrate my direction. So a few years just before the pandemic, I decided to do something for myself. And when I was young kasi, I discovered theater and I was bitten by the theater bug. So parang, what if I go back to that? It gave me joy. I was happy when I was in theater. So what would be my form of theater now? So I tried drag. And that I did that for myself, not for anybody else. And surprisingly, the reception online, which was my first platform, was actually very positive.
Yeah.
So I pursued it and continued it.
How would you say drag has changed your life? You mentioned earlier when you watch yourself and when you step into drag, you're a completely different person. So would you say it saved you in a way where it's an escape for you from reality?
Interesting. Probably the drag queens who are watching this would actually relate to me. When I'm in drag, I'm more real to who I am than when I'm not.
Wow.
Yeah, because I think the makeup and the costume and the hair gives you a certain courage to be who you are, thinking that the people will judge that character rather than who I am.
I get that.
You
Yeah,
get
I
where I'm coming from.
understand.
Yeah. So that's what drag is for me. Actually, I'm a superhero when I'm in drag.
Yeah.
Oh, I love
It's like
it.
a
Parang
superhero
Clark Kent, you
costume.
take off the
Yeah.
glasses, you're someone
Yeah.
else.
You're everybody's
Someone else.
superhero.
Oh, thank you.
And you know what? I wish we could talk to you more. Sa totoo lang, this could be a podcast and we could go on for 2 hours.
Literally.
But we only have this amount of time
So
for
come back
this moment.
na lang next
Yeah,
time.
of course.
As Tita Baby
1,000%.
naman.
Ask Tita Baby. That'll be really fun. That'll be really
That would be
fun.
fun.
Thank you so much, Tita Baby.
Thank
Really
you,
appreciate you this morning.
Thank you.